After securing the homelands, we turned our focus to the English Isles. Years of raiding the coasts eventually lead to siege and settlement. And after taking the southern island, the neighboring tribes united in an effort to reclaim their land. The Saxon king was deep in the misty mountains when the Picts attacked and pushed us back on our heels. At this time, the Caledonians saw their opportunity and ambushed us again, with retreat no longer an option, and our king's life at stake. The only choice would be to fight or die. The Caledonians called on a great number of troops, horde-like, filled with axes and swords. Spears and archers brought up their rear, all marching defiantly toward our king. Our king saw the terrain as a natural fortress and decided that our best position would be atop the mountain. Swords and pikes held the lines, massed together, bracing for the enemy's charge. Javelins lined the ridge, ready to rain down on the enemy. Horses and war dogs sat behind the hill, out of sight, ready to spring at a moment's notice. This would be our last stand. The Caledonians split their army in two to attack both flanks, the center being too steep to traverse, and began their charge uphill. We sent out the dogs to slow down and tire the enemy before they reached our line. This worked in delaying some troops, but not all, and as the right flank closed in toward our line, our cavalry break out of formation to distract as many men as they could, and to attack the archers that had been sending endless volleys into our shields. The pikes were holding up to the Celtic axemen until the Fianna came in to support, and a hole soon broke in our lines. The cavalry quickly pulled around to support the right flank, while our troops repositioned themselves to hold the Caledonians back. Smashing into the rear, a few units were either killed or broken, and with the lines restored, the cavalry then swing around the back lines to continue taking out Caledonian skirmishers and archers. The assault on our right flank inevitably crumbled. Our swords pursued the fleeing axemen, while our pikes turned to provide some much-needed relief to the left line. The left line was being torn asunder by sheer concentration of force. However, this left them huddled and mobbed together. Shields pressed against backs were better than pressing our swords. This also left them vulnerable to being enveloped by Saxon lines as we advanced forward. After the cavalry were finished with the skirmishers, they turned back to the melee above and crash into the enemy's back. Shields split, spears splinter, and in the chaos it was difficult to tell who was winning, but then there was a horn. The enemy general had fallen, and a mass rout began. This is the story of how the Saxon king still lives today.